So last dimension now,
Mm-hmm.
and this is about judging and perceiving.
Yeah.
And this is about how you like to live your life.
Right.
So do you remember doing this one when you did your group feedback with the rest of your team?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I noticed you smiling. What do you remember about it?
I remember saying that I thought I'd be judging, but this seems to be pretty definitely perceiving.
Now that doesn't mean that you are perceiving, and it doesn't mean that previously you were judging.
Right.
What we're looking for is to confirm your best fit.
Okay.
And your best fit is the one that you feel most comfortable with.
Okay.
And sometimes what step 2 can do is help you realise or give you greater clarity about what your best fit might be.
Right. Okay.
When you were doing step 1 group feedback with your team, can you remember how your colleagues came out?
Yeah. Everyone was. Well, most people were judging.
Had a judging preference.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's have a look at the different facets that make up judging and perceiving,
Okay.
and then see if we can have it. Then maybe we can have a chat around where that might be coming from.
Okay, great.
So the first one is systematic and casual,
Yeah.
and this is about whether people tend to have a structured approach, a planned approach, and you can usually see this in somebody's life generally. So their overall approach to life is that they're structured, they're planned, they have contingency plans, and they don't tend to like to be taken by surprise.
Right. Okay.
People who are casual tend to be more flexible, they tend to be more informal. They like surprises, they're not particularly structured, they tend to be more easygoing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense, I think, for me.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
The next one, planful and open-ended, is around how people organise their leisure time. So people who are planful tend to want to plan their leisure in advance because they can enjoy that. So once I know what I'm doing, in 3 months' time, I can enjoy and anticipate that event.
Right.
People who are open-ended can often feel constrained by that. So if they think, I know what I'm doing for the next 4 weekends,
Yeah.
it can feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
So do you know what you're doing this weekend?
No.
Are
I've
you
got
okay?
options, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next one is early starting pressure prompted. So do you remember when you did your step 1 feedback?
Yeah.
We talked about this one. So people who are early starting tended to, if there was a project or a deadline, they tended to, let's hit this here, start early and work in a systematic way in order to hit the deadline. And
Yeah.
for them, they would want to perhaps hit the deadline perhaps the day before.
Right.
People who are perceiving tend to be pressure prompted. So they've got the task, they then think when the deadline is and work back from it,
Yeah.
and then they may do a bit of plan, they may do something else, make some information, and then at the last minute they have this adrenaline rush
Yeah.
to get things done.
Right.
They still will hit the deadline.
Yeah.
It's not about the quality of work or whether or not you meet your deadlines. Both will meet deadlines.
Right.
It's about the process that you use in order to hit the deadline.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think I'd quite like to be an early starter, but, but I'm definitely not. I think I'm, pressure prompted.
What advantages can you see in being an early starter?
Well, you're probably likely to get things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I do still get things done as well as I would do, but there'd maybe be less pressure.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if this seems to suggest that maybe I thrive because there's that pressure.
Yeah. People who
So-
are pressure prompted will often say they need that adrenaline rush at the last minute
Right.
to get their best work done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's true of me. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your colleagues?
No, they're all quite organised. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think they see you?
I think they probably. I would like to think they still see me. The thing is, that makes it sound like I'm rushing things at the end, but that's not what that means, is it?
No.
It's not to do with that.
No, it's about working. It's working in a focused way at the end to
Right.
get things done.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that is what I do, so I guess that probably must be how they maybe they see me. But I mean, a lot of other people, I would say, are early starters. They're quite methodical about how they sort of plan things out, and they're quite organised and structured.
Yeah.
In a way that maybe I'm not. Yeah.
And we'll talk about what you might bring to your colleagues at the end when we've gone through it.
Okay.
You've talked about admiring people with a judging preference and some of the facets that we've talked about there, but I think it's important to look at what you will bring to your colleagues that they perhaps may not do naturally. So we'll just pick that up at the end.
Okay, cool.
Next one is about scheduled and spontaneous. And this is about routine and how you might manage your diary, things like that. So people who are scheduled like to schedule things in. They enjoy routines. And they believe if I've got things scheduled and I know what I'm doing, then if something unexpected comes up, I can deal with it.
Right, okay.
Somebody who's spontaneous dislikes routines because they believe they hem them in. So they want to be spontaneous. So if something unexpected comes up, they're free to deal with it.
Right.
So both are looking perhaps to how might they accommodate something unforeseen coming up.
Yeah.
But how they do that is very different.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then the last one, methodical emergent, is around if you have a task to do, people who are methodical for that specific task that they're doing are likely to think about it before they start. They may get the materials they need for the task, they might read the instructions, they might plan for what they're going to do.
Right.
People who are emergent tend to just jump in and, minimal, I know what I'm doing, but then get on with it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe that a plan will emerge as they go through it.
Right. Okay.
And that when you've come out in the mid-zone.
Yeah.
So that's suggesting that whether you're methodical or emergent is dependent on the context, the situation that you're in. I'll just pop that down for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say when I'm at work, I'm more methodical. Mm-hmm. And perhaps when I'm at home, I just sort of plough in. Maybe because the kind of consequences are not as severe, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say when I'm at home, I'm maybe more emergent, and when I'm at work, I'm more methodical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we think about when you did your step one and you were thinking, might be ISTJ, that behaviour there, which is linked to the methodical that you've talked about, being methodical at work, might have encouraged you to think in that way.
Yeah, I think it probably did. Because I think there's more at work, maybe because everyone else is sort of quite methodical, if I need to be as methodical because there's more consequences if I don't get something done in the right way or something, whereas if I'm at home by myself, it doesn't really matter if there's less sort of consequences, I guess.
Yes. If I asked your colleagues to describe you in terms of the way that you organise your work, how might they describe you?
I think I don't know, I think I still feel like they would think I was quite methodical and organised, because I do try to be that at work.
Yes.
But maybe so I think I feel like I want to be like that, so I try to do that, but maybe I don't behave like that. But I think they would still look at me, I would hope they would still think I was organised and structured and yeah.
In your appraisals, have you ever had feedback around that?
Yeah. I have been told before that maybe I'm not as organised and structured as I maybe could be, but I don't think the work suffers as a result. It's like you say, I've just gone about it. I go about things in a slightly different way.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But from what you said, when I've got a task to do, your colleagues would see you planning it, asking questions, doing it in a way that would suggest that you're thinking about how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Maybe not so much asking questions, but
But
I think so.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Have you got any questions on the judging and perceiving?
No, I think because before I wanted to be seen as judging
Yeah.
because so many other people seem to be judging. And I think I maybe thought that if I was perceiving, a lot of those things maybe aren't as good. But actually, I think you seem to be saying that just because I go about it in a different way, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can
Okay.
you see where some of this behaviour around the perceiving facets may be advantageous at work? So what might you bring to your colleagues that they don't have at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm pressure prompted, so I'm good under pressure, and maybe in ways that they're not. So if something happens which needs, and because I'm spontaneous, maybe that allows me to sort of be more flexible around what I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think actually, thinking about it, I think I am. I think things have happened where I've been able to adapt quite quickly.
Can you think of an example?
Yeah, so we had a client who was trying to file a tax return and was running very late with it and was needing to file it, and I think everyone else had their sort of lists of stuff, you know, that they needed to get done, and so they couldn't. Whereas I was actually able to slot it in, and I managed to help him out with it and get it done, which was great. So maybe if I was more structured, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah.
Or it would have taken you more energy to do it, or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a really good example.
Yeah.
And bringing something of what you're bringing to your colleagues. So whilst you have talked about admiring this side, actually it's recognising that there are some things that you will bring that will help them too.
Okay.
So if we think back to some of the discussions we've had about you wanting to fit in with your colleagues, that actually another way to fit in is recognising what you're bringing that they haven't necessarily got.
Right. Okay. Getting them to recognise that.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's take the example that you gave, because it was a great example. When you supported this client who was last minute with their tax submission, how did your colleagues see you? What did they give you any feedback?
I mean, yeah, my manager said that he was really impressed that I'd been able to just pick it up, and because it was quite an important client, and you know, it needed to be done.
Yeah.
And yeah, he told me he was really grateful and impressed that I'd been able to just pick it up and get it sorted out. So yeah, I think they thought it was good that I was able to do it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good.